Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Unedited Chatter with Stephanie and Tisha. Thank you for spending some time with us today.
Unedited Chatter drops new episodes every other Wednesday. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. The socials will be listed in the show notes. This show is an independent production. The views expressed here are our own and not those of our professional roles or employers. This is our Unedited Chatter. Let's get started. We are so excited and honored to have Douglas Alford here today. Douglas is the founder of the Inde Ed Project, a nonprofit organization with a mission to locally improve global foundational reading, math, science, and AI for all. Doug has 10,000 pages of content in 50 videos with over 7 million guys, free copies downloaded by people in 60 countries. We are honored to have you here with us today, Doug. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Teammates joke with me that I write children's books because I'm on the same mental level. They're probably true. It's probably right.
That's awesome. Well, I just want to tell everybody that we do have his links and everything will be in the show notes at the end of the show. So everything will be there for you. But Doug, let's get right into it because I'm super excited. Your title for this session is AI for all 10 to 15-year-olds with IEP. Tell us a little bit about what that title means to you and why you wanted to be here to speak about that today.
So IEP is the Independent Inde Ed Project, like Steph mentioned. We're a nonprofit and we create content and we just want to help people. And AI has added a sense of urgency. And so I'll start with a quick story. It's an old story with a new twist. And that is when people ask chicken or egg, which came first? In one of our books, we answer information came first, right? The information is the system, the chicken and the egg. It's not like that. And so it's so crucial now, especially the 10 to 15-year-olds, that we give them the basics and the foundations because things are changing so fast with artificial intelligence. And that's our goal.
Sorry, I heard you breathe. Sometimes we like talk over each other. No, I'm curious because Steph and I are always learning about AI. We always want to know more, right? So how does your nonprofit dig into this part of the AI? What are you wanting to help people with? What do we need to understand?
So we start with a free book, right? And it's just easy AI with the Inde Ed Project. And the picture is basically the three monkeys, right?
The,
The
And
emoji.
the point being is it's an AI robot, but we as the humans need to, we'll talk more about it. There's three main points we want to make in this episode, and that is no bots, K-N-O-W, bots that know things, right? Like ChatGPT. But then there's do bots, and that's the robots that Elon Musk is trying to get out there, right? The bots that actually do things. And the no bots are doing really well. The do bots are not doing too well. But the other key point is, and we'll talk more about this, is we want a pro bot. We want people to be actively engaged in influencing that as artificial intelligence, as the bots come out, we need to make sure that we make them positive to the impact of everybody. Because if we get this wrong, not so good. But it's a huge opportunity for us. So no bots, do bots, and pro bots.
So creative.
that is cool.
So cool. So AI is not going away. And actually, our youngest learners are not going to know a world probably without AI, right? So the fact that you're even starting these conversations through the use of a picture book is brilliant because it is here and we have to find ways. When I think back to the first time I played with my best friend, ChatGPT, AKA, I think about what I entered into it. And I was almost hesitant on what prompt I entered in. And now I think, gosh, I mean, I've come so far. And I would imagine, to your point, what you're trying to do is create a foundation of learning with this. Tell us
With
more.
adults, we have, you know, those of us who grew up without the smartphone, especially, right? We have that basis. We have that where children that only have that are going to be at a disadvantage. And we talked a little bit more about the real world and the game world, right? And muddying that, and where AI is involved in both. But it's critical that a lot is talked about. It was called STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math. And then they added art and they made it STEAM. Well, we would like to make it stream, okay? Easy for me to say, where science, technology, real intelligence, engineering, art, but then also AI and mathematics. And let's put it all together.
So, how do you envision that looking? Like in a classroom, if a teacher has this, how is this going to happen?
So in a perfect world, right? So we have 10,000 pages of basic reading, math, science, and AI, right? What we'd like to do is help train it. And what we've done internationally, we're not doing well in the US. US schools just won't talk to us. But outside, they seem to be hungrier. They seem more engaged. They like our content and it's free, right? So can't beat the price. We see that we've gotten some podcasts where we're training teachers because they confide into us that they're nervous, right? It's like, I don't want to get up in front of my class and they ask me AI questions and we can't answer them, right? That's bad. So we train the teachers, we give them the materials that they can use. And we're really all about sound bites, right? Let's get the basics. We're not trying to overwhelm anybody with a lot of information. You give them the basics. And then we are so close to being able to use AI in the classroom. And there are some places that replace teachers. That's not us. We're saying help the teachers, especially 10 to 15, 5 to 15-year-olds. They need the teachers, right? But once the teacher gives the presentation, like reads the books, then we're so close to where AI can then individually, with a digital device, the student can then read the book, and then the AI will say, hey, you did great on this. Here's where you need help. Here's the sounds. Here's the words. Here's the comprehension. Real-time interaction with that student that the teacher couldn't do 30 times with students' kids, but AI can. Take our content, give that real, we call it an IPL. It's got to have a name, right? Inde Ed Project, Personalized Learning Experience. So it's an IPL. If you come up with a better term, we'd love it. But we call it that. Just we want it to be a package deal. But if the kids don't get the basics, they won't get AI. They'll fall behind.
An IPL a day. I mean, I have so many questions. I don't want to stop talking to you, but I do want to check out your stuff because everything you're saying is where we're going in education. And we meaning teachers, have an apprehension with what's in front of us, and we have an apprehension with our skill set in tackling it. So
Right.
if I were a teacher and I logged onto your site, what would be one of the first things that I would see and say, oh yeah, give me this?
So we had this overview, right, which gives you the
Yes.
overview of a
Yes.
10-step program. And the first some of the teachers are overwhelmed saying, why are you going into the past, right? If we don't understand that in the past, it's called automata. I don't say that word well, but it was basically where they took mechanical, right, cams and gears and they made toys for the rich people, right? It would be on the table and have all this fancy food and then it would walk, right? It would move. And then they had a mechanical goose, right? You fed it in and it pooped out pellets, right? That were made out of silver, right? But all this was the point was it was entertaining the rich. And that's where it started. An interesting data point is there was one of these, and they think it was an automatic chess player. And what they think really happened is there was a small person inside, right? That was actually moving things. It wasn't actually all automated, but it impressed a guy named Charles Babbage so much that he came up with the first computers based on seeing that demonstration, right? So it's so fascinating that the old toys have a direct impact on today.
It's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. And
That's
it's
super
gonna
cool.
have a direct impact in our future because we're not going back. So we have to figure out a way to navigate these new arenas. Yeah?
As we look at AI in everyday life, and I have friends and some of the podcasts that we do internationally, they say, we don't use AI. We'll say, well, what did you watch today? What did you buy online?
Yes.
What did you do online? What's the information? And they say, oh, I did use AI, right? AI was there whether I knew it or not. The other key point we like to make is we give examples of step by step because algorithm and AI is very step by step. And so we talk about cookies because it's very something they like to relate to. And we have classes that then make cookies. The teachers will bring in cookies. At the end of this, they can taste it, right? All the senses. Step by step, how do you make cookies? Step by step, how do you make cloth? How do you make clothes? And then based on that, how does AI think step by step? But the fundamental question is who sets the goal? Who sets the algorithm? There's a quote in one of our books, those who control the stories control societies.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to be very careful as we let AI do more and more that we're very aware of that fact.
Yeah, that's a great, scary thought in a sense,
Scary, but an opportunity.
It
but yes, but how exciting. Yeah.
so
The other
if
thing we
you
like
were
to contrast is human senses and how that helps us interface with the world, and then a direct comparison of our sight with computer cameras, right? With our voices that, that we're hearing. And so you can do, and then touching, right? And you can do that one for one analogy. Taste is a bit iffy, but you can do that one for one. And it's very, when they sit down and play video games, they can make that relationship between their senses and AI sensors, and then realize that the games that they see, the games that they play and interact with, AI is behind the scenes saying, learning from your behavior, learning what your interests are, learning what the challenges are. If this is too much, then it'll lower. And to help engage you, which is fantastic for entertainment. And we need to bottle that and get that in education. But we do need to be aware of that and the manipulation that it can do as well.
Well, it's interesting you were talking cookies before. I mean, I looked up something for my son today about, buffalo chicken egg rolls. Guess what my entire algorithm is now? The entire day has been buffalo chicken recipes. I mean, you're right. And it's all over. So we do have to be mindful of the input in. And I also think our sensory integration is so much linked to brain research now. So that's a whole different conversation you'll have to come back for. But I think that we also have to start really thinking about the human side of AI that AI doesn't have, you
I
know?
agree. It's also a fantastic opportunity if we can get the tools to the teachers, because an AI can take that and say, this is what you're doing great. Here's what you're not, here's what you need help with. And we can fix those deficiencies early before they compound year to year, right? When I was young, I couldn't say my THs, I couldn't say my Rs, right? They finally sent me to a specialist, but for years, I just didn't do it well. If we could fix that real time, right?
And I'm gonna say this again because it's gonna go in our AI show notes that these products are free. This
Yeah,
resource is free, teachers. So if you're looking for that starting point that is asynchronous, online, free, I can't wait to check it out. This is a great starting point for you just to start to dip a toe in the water and navigate this new future. Yeah.
we're
I love
free.
free, 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 free.
A
I
couple
love
more quick points is internationally, a lot of teachers were very, very concerned about their students and the amount of time that they play with their digital devices. So we wrote a book called Too Much Tech. And it's not anti-tech, it's not negative, but it's saying it's all about balance. And the main character, a monkey, something about monkeys, don't they? So goes finds out that he gets too tanitis, too much entertainment, right? And so then through the story learns to balance tech as a tool and tech as toys, as entertainment, right? And so that's our story about too much.
I love that.
Doug, did you start out in early childhood or elementary education? Because your creativity is hopping.
I never left elementary school.
Well,
I love it. Well, Doug, we're going to need you to come back on here. Give this a while for people to kind of marinate, but we want to hear more. I'm sure that you're always adding to this. I'm sure you're always doing things. All of the website and everything will be in the show notes. And so everybody will be able to get to that. And I'm sure Steph and I are going to have questions for you, but we appreciate you being here.
Thank you for this opportunity. We want to help, right? We're independent education. We've got free stuff. We'd be happy to give it to you.
Thank you.
Doug.
Thank you, everyone.